time for Leadership of the Leaf. Great leaders smoke great cigars. Now, in their fourth season, Austin and Dice are back with more leadership advice and cigar knowledge to share. Grab a cigar and let's put some smoke in the air.
Welcome to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf. My name's Austin.
And my name is Dice. It is Dice.
Oh.
It's not Dice.
Oh.
It's not what
It's
you was
not
calling
Dice?
me off air. It is Dice. It's not what you were saying off air, which is not nice things to me, but my name is Dice.
I was using your nickname.
My nickname from college. That's not a true story either. Fuck you.
Much like, similar to the cigar that we're smoking, I decided to use your nickname versus your given.
Cigar
Does
would
that work?
take me out to the ball game. Na, 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 na. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, what cigar are we smoking? Dice.
We're smoking the Big Poppy. David Ortiz.
Poppy. David Ortiz.
All right.
The Toro side. I will
Toro.
say the Toro side because I had two. I had a Robusto and I have the Toro.
You gotta go Toro. With the Big Poppy, you gotta go go Toro, right?
Yeah. You gotta go big. Go big with the Big Poppy.
Yeah, go Big Poppy. Hey, Big Poppy over here. No, it's
Dice is not a baseball fan.
I'm not. I don't know much about baseball at all, man. It goes back when I was younger. When I was younger, I remember going to a game, watching it with my grandma's side of the family, one of my dad's side of the family, and we're watching. And this one kid took a fast pitch, and it hit the batter in the hand, and it was all broken and bloody and stuff. And ever since I saw that, I was like, baseball just isn't for me. I still remember at a young age. So ever since then, baseball hasn't really been a thing, and I never really been
you can watch Paul George snap his fucking tibia shit against the stanchion of the
right. But I wasn't a kid seeing that. I was a grown ass adult. So I don't know. Ever since then, I'm pretty all around sports guy. Baseball is just probably the worst sport I'm at, I guess.
I will say hockey is probably the least interesting to me.
Oh, have you ever played it?
I've not played. No, not playing. Watching.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like hockey playing, all right, it's kind of fun. Soccer. I played soccer when I was younger. Like, what kid doesn't? I can't really watch it. Never mind. I'm not even qualified. Baseball to me, I've gone to MLB games. I've seen the Braves play. I've seen the Cardinals play. I've seen the Red Sox play. I saw the San Diego Padres play. But I don't give two craps about it. It's so boring to me that it's just, I'm like, they made it almost slightly better with the pitch clock, but
what's that?
Still boring.
The Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. That was when he was at his height. I think that was the very little few time that I actually paid attention. So, I have a sports team in every sport, right? So for baseball, it's White Sox because of Frank Thomas. Other than that, I don't know anything, man.
Yeah, I live 30 minutes from Busch Stadium right now, so I'm like, go Cardinals, woo! But that's about it. But all right, yeah, we're smoking the Big Poppy. Before we go too much further, because we got to get going on this episode, what are you drinking? And what the fuck are you doing?
Man, there's this giant bug flying around. I want to say it's a Mothra. He's looking for Godzilla or something. I don't know. This thing is huge.
Can you focus enough to tell us what type of Hennessy you're drinking tonight?
I can 100%. We are smoking a baseball cigar, and what better to drink when you're thinking of baseball? What's the baseball drink of choice?
Beer.
I'm drinking beer, sir. but it's probably not a traditional baseball beer. I'm drinking Sapporo.
Oh, that's definitely
Japanese beer. Unless you're at the Tokyo Dome.
Shohei Ohtani, come on
now. Or Dice K? Yeah, I got his shirt. Jersey shirt. It's a shirt, not a jersey.
I don't know what you have.
I'm telling you, I'm not asking. What are you drinking? You talking mad shit. What are you drinking? I'm not drinking Hennessy. I'm drinking beer. What are you drinking?
Whiskey.
That's it? Just regular ass whiskey. There's nothing else attached? Or you just
bourbon whiskey.
You're just going to leave it at whiskey? Bourbon whiskey. There you go. There's the confusing factor for me.
How is that confusing?
All bourbons are whiskey. All whiskeys are not bourbon.
Are bourbon. Correct.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I took my SATs.
Yeah. Better take that twice. Can we get started on this episode?
No.
What the fuck?
How about that? Because there's a subtle, fine art to a leader using the word no.
Well, you did it incorrectly then.
Did I?
That hurt my feelings.
Good, because that's what it's all about.
You did.
No, what is the topic really? The art of saying no.
Yeah, the art of saying no.
Yeah, I want to just share. Like, I was browsing leadership stuff or whatever, and I came across this quote. It was from the former Prime Minister of Tony Blair. I remember when Tony Blair was there. It was in the Time magazine article, and it says...
Prime Minister of who?
Prime Minister of England.
What? Canada has a fucking Prime Minister.
Sorry.
France has a Prime Minister.
You are absolutely correct. Thank you for calling me out, sir.
Other countries have a Prime Minister.
Yes.
I'm not...
I was assuming everyone knew who the fuck Tony Blair was. That was my assumption. Soon, you, me. Okay.
No.
You happy now?
All right.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Better.
God damn it, this guy.
What? It's a fair statement.
Here's the quote. All right.
Okay.
Can we move past that and get to the quote? You ready for the quote? The art of leadership is saying no, not yes. Now, with that quote, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, they all share that same conviction. You know, they share that same sentiment, right? But Buffett has continued with the same thought process by adding the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. No.
You ever watch the movie Yes Man?
This is going to be a fucked up... No. Of course, yes. I have seen Yes Man. Yes. Where he says yes to everything.
Well, it's just the opposite. It's the opposite thing, right? The whole idea is to say yes to everything, and he meets this wonderful girl, and right. So it's just interesting.
Oh, was that a leadership movie? I can't remember if that movie was about leadership.
No, fuck off. Every movie has a leader. You can tie everything to leadership. I can tie Finding Nemo to leadership. God damn it.
My! Well, yeah, that was actually a leadership movie. Yeah, 100%. He needs to find his son. He took the lead role.
All right, let's go.
Kids movie. You think this is a game? You think we out here playing?
You talk about practice? I tie Wall-E to leadership. Is that better?
Wall-E.
I think the one about Disney movies was my kid.
I'm noticing that. Have you watched Mufasa yet? I haven't watched it yet.
Fuck no.
Wow. Easy. Easy.
Listen, the live action remake where they make the former bad guy into just a quote misunderstood but yet good guy. That whole trope.
Did you just do a spoiler for me? Did you know Scar is like my shit? Scar is like my shit, and you really ruin it right now. Okay. All right. Long live the king. He's talking about Dice right there.
Anyway, look, they did it with Jurassic Park, right? Who is the bad people in Jurassic Park?
That fucking doctor guy that brought them all back to life.
Okay. What dinosaurs were the bad people?
The bad people. Look at you. The raptors.
And who becomes the good people, the good dinosaurs in Jurassic World?
It's so funny of you to think I've watched any of them other than the very first one in
Anyway, it's the
1990,
Raptor.
1990
Raptor.
something. Oh,
Shut up.
yeah. So they were the good guys. Look, you're spoiling a lot of movies for me.
We get fucked and watch more movies. I don't know
No.
what to tell you. Stop watching Scarface on repeat.
Over and over. How do you know I do that? You don't know me. You don't know my life.
All right, let's continue on. I'm gonna get us off on a tangent. I'm pretty sure. I did.
If you already did, I'm already hyped up now. Look at that. Let me
I'm
drink
just
some more.
saying.
I'm gonna drink more beer.
Sunday.
Where were we? What are we talking about? Leaders.
We're gonna talk about how fucked up this cigar is.
Yeah, mine's still.
Look at this shit. Look at that fucking burn.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you
So,
describe?
the-
Can you describe
I
your?
shut up for 5 seconds. For those of you at home who can't see this, fuck, dice. I have lit the same end of the cigar 3
The
times.
the foot or the head? Which end did you like?
The foot. I'm gonna punch you square in the mouth.
Hey, nobody can see you.
White. Anyway, I would say probably 80-90% of the foot of the cigar lit.
Yes.
There's like 10% that I lit 3 times and it still didn't light. Then I don't know if it was heat. I think it was split before I lit. Then I got a giant split in my cigar
Oh shit!
And-
I see it.
and it's become worse. And now it's like canoeing and it's all fucking janky and shit.
Janky. That's an industry term for fucked up.
So I'm just gonna keep smoking and hoping it eases itself out.
It's
But
gonna
it's
fix
kind of
itself.
upsetting to me.
It's gonna fix
That's what I've
itself.
been told. What I've
Okay.
been told.
Well, my 10% that didn't light also in the foot is kind of doing what yours did, where it's going to try to burn around that area.
Yeah, I don't
So-
know if there was like a patch of like bad tobacco, like non-combustible shit, or
Did
I have
it
no idea.
touch like water in that one spot? I don't know.
Is that where they use the glue and the glue just doesn't combust? I don't fucking know. Anyway, can you get back to Tony Blair?
Yes, Tony Blair, Prime Minister of England, with his
And
quote.
Steve Jobs, Buffett, Warren Buffett.
Well, I mean, this whole lesson is about that quote. The art of leadership is saying no and not yes, and it's going to be confusing. Leaders will know they have reached a new stage of maturity when they turn down almost irresistible opportunities because it would have diverted resources from the central or most important goals of the organization. And that's just a smart way of saying sometimes you got to turn away from the fucking sundaes. You got to turn away from that juicy red apple because there's a bigger picture on the horizon. And if you was to stop, like the tortoise and the hare, if you was to stop and take that nap because you wanted to say yes to everything, you're going to lose. You're going to lose sight of that bigger picture.
Yeah. There's something to be said about the tortoise and the hare. No matter how many times I've read that book, you know who always comes out on top?
Slow and steady.
The tortoise every fucking time. It never changes. It's weird. And I've tried to tell my child this. I'm like, there's a lesson in you that needs you to learn. And I was like, fast does not always mean good. I was like, fast can be sloppy. Fast can be, wrong. They can do the wrong thing. But it's the tortoise that stays on mission, right? Stays on that sense of goal. I'm gonna finish this fucking race. And he just one foot in front of the other. He's gonna finish the race. And guess what? He ends up fucking winning the race. Same thing with organizations. When leaders fail to say no, organizations become stretched so thin that they can no longer do anything really thoroughly or well. By diffusing their staff and resources instead of concentrating them in a well-defined area of focus, these leaders limit their organization's effectiveness and prevent it from having substantial impact on the essential priority, right? So if you are a, let's just say, steel company, and you make and you forge steel and you put out ingots, and you put out fucking sheets of steel and all this other stuff, why the fuck would you say, you know what, I think I can start making semiconductors? I think I can start making those. No, the fuck you can't. Like, stop. But it's a good business. Yeah, I get it. Some of that may transfer over. Who fucking knows? No. Like, you make your processes better here, and then if you want to use the profits of that business to then invest in a separate startup business of semiconductors or chips or whatever the fuck you want, paper, I don't give a shit, that's fine. That's a whole separate business that falls under your umbrella. But like, if you look at companies, Procter and Gamble, SC Johnson, they don't. Cascade is not also a cereal on the fucking cereal aisle.
That'd be fun.
But it falls, right? Yeah, like it's not a thing. Like, they have separate branches of the company that fall under the Procter and Gamble umbrella, but it's not the same thing.
Well, I like your I like your analogy. I guess that's the right word for your. Damn, your cigar's fucked up. For the steel, right? You got just enough to make 10 steel widgets. You got barely enough to make that. Actually, you have enough to make 11. But sometimes stuff happens, and you got to get rid of one of them. So if you came to me and was like, "Hey, let's
10%.
Let's make widget B with widget A. We'll have enough," and you was to say yes, then something happens. Now your main focus of the first 10 you're not going to be able to make. Now you got this side project over here that you have something for, and you're short on your essential goal because you said yes to something. Sometimes you have to say no, like no. And that's the whole purpose of having the confidence as a leader to say, you don't have to say yes. Of course, it's human nature to be like, yes, let's see if we can try that. Yes. Like my daughter, for example, there's so many things. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. Especially around Christmas time. I'm pretty sure your son's the same way.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
It's yes to everything, right? But no, you can't say yes to everything, because if you did, then you'll be living out of your car or in a cardboard box.
Yeah. My wife had this. She learned this lesson, or she knows this lesson about herself, I guess I should say. But we had a Boy Scout come to the door, and he was selling one of those little coupon cards, right? Where they have like a bunch of 10% off at this store, and like free appetizer at this restaurant, or whatever it was. She bought it. It's not very expensive. It's fine. I consider it a donation.
Right.
But I started looking at it, and I was like, oh, what can I get out of this thing?
Well, I might as well use it, right?
Exactly. So I was like, oh, Great Clip. I don't get my hair cut at Great Clip. I don't even know where there's one around here. So that's automatically out the window. Valvoline oil change. Those of you who don't know why Dice is laughing so hard, I have 2 electric vehicles. That's what I drive. I don't have a gas vehicle, so an oil change is absolutely fucking useless to me. So that's another one. 3 of them were for like $10 or 10% off at Boy Scout outfitter stores. My kid doesn't do scouting. I looked at, there's another one for a local business here that has like a science center, and it said free admission. I was like, I don't go there because my son is aged out of this, so that's useless. Like, I started going through there. I'm like, I don't go here. I don't do this, like that. I think we found like 2 things on there that I was like, oh, these would be okay. And I just looked at her, and she basically said, I don't want to answer the door anymore because I would say yes to stuff. And I was like, it's fine. The card cost us $10, which I'm happy to just think of it as a donation. There was one store that's Academy. We go there quite often. I was like, and it's like get $10 off of a $50 purchase or something. I was like, we'll get our money back, off the $10 from Academy or whatever. It'll be fine. But I was like, did you look at this? Did you look at what was on here before you purchased? No. Why the fuck would you like? It's one thing if it's like, oh hey, because we had a card previously and it gave us like 10% off of one of our favorite restaurants, and you could use it multiple times. So I was like, this is great. We made so much money off that shit because we go in there and we're back 10%. We go on a weekly basis. It was great. This one, I was like, this is fucking useless. Why the fuck did you buy this? It was only $10 and I felt like I wanted to help him. I'm like, that's fine. Consider it a donation then. And just throw the card away. I don't give a shit anymore.
But
I told her she had to learn how to say no.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example of sometimes it's okay to say no. We have that right. We can say no.
Yeah. And I told her, I was like, it wouldn't have been a thing if you said, hey, I don't need a card. Can I donate $10 to you? And you could say I bought a card because I don't use anything on here. Like this card is absolutely useless to me, and I'd rather you just keep the product and let me donate $10. But like then at least you feel good about donating, and you don't feel like you wasted your money on something useless.
AKA my husband's going to ridicule me.
I did not ridicule. I just asked a simple question of, did you look at this before you purchased it?
Oh, yeah.
The answer was no. That answer was no. He didn't say no to the kid.
Oh, I see. You don't have a problem telling me no. Got it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But, yeah, I mean, leadership's all about, like, making those hard decisions, right? Like, setting those boundaries, prioritizing those opportunities based on that, the goal, right? The vision of the organization. Honestly, a significant aspect of effective leadership is the ability to judge different opportunities well and develop the art of judgment and decision making. And that insight, that judgment is crucial when learning to say no to people and projects. This takes the skills, discipline, and practice. You don't get to say no overnight, and you don't get to. If you think about it, right? Let's say you're a hiring manager, and your brother, sister, whatever, and comes to you and is like, "Hey, can you hire your nephew or niece? I promise they'll work hard for you." And da da da. And you're like, "Sure." And that niece or nephew or whatever is the shittiest fucking employee, and you know it's going to be a shit show, but you're doing a family a favor, and you're like, I should have just said no. Now this kid's costing me more money than it's fucking me.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard to say no.
What is Bar Rescue? I don't know why I can't think of the name that quick, but Bar Rescue. How many episodes have you seen where it's like, that's his grandson or that's his niece or something like that? And clearly the answer is obvious. Get rid of that fucking clown. Business will increase by 10 to 20%. Just get rid of him. I didn't even teach you guys anything yet.
Yeah.
He's drinking you out of house and home right now.
That asshole's drunk 24/7 in your bar and then hits on your fucking whatever, and like your business goes out the window. Yeah, you got to say no to a lot of stuff, right? Like if you're a bar business, right? And somebody comes in and is like, "Hey, I got a great idea. What if? Hear me out. What if you had sold a fine dining experience in your bar? Like, wouldn't that be amazing?" No, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm a sports bar.
Right?
I have TVs at the ass, and I have pool tables and dark. You want a fine dining thing? This is stupid. But if you don't say no, like, yeah, I can separate a room. Now you have like fucking 2 tables in a room all by themselves, making you no money, and you had to spend all this money on fucking wait staff for that. No, doesn't make sense.
I have to actually get silverware that matches.
Yeah, like I can't just have girls and tight fucking tank tops and short shorts serve beer to patrons during football. Like, They have to actually dress nice
Awesome.
for a fine dining restaurant.
What are you talking about? Girls? What are you talking about, man?
Listen, you want to talk about what Hooters is built on?
Aren't they going out of business? Not being funny.
They are. They do.
Okay.
But if you look at it, you go to any sports bar, and almost any sports bar that's labeled a sports bar, tight tank tops and fucking short shorts.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't. That's just terrible. Oh man. So, I mean, saying no sometimes, especially for like a newly, saying no kind of would put you in your feelings. Like,
Did I miss an opportunity?
Yeah.
Feeling.
Well, not necessarily feeling. I'm leaning more towards the opportunity. Like, you start looking and like, why did I say no to that? What's the reason for saying no? Whatever you're doing at that time frame, you should have done that before the question was even asked. Because that way you don't have to think about it anymore. Like, hey, we should do a fine dining in here. No, I don't need to think about that. That's a no to the no power.
Right.
But let's say you come and you ask me and you're like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go no. And then later at night when I'm laying in bed staring at the ceiling, I'm like, why did I say no to that? That actually seems like a pretty good idea. But no, you have a sports bar. No. Do all that before the question is asked.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand as a leader what your goals and visions are as an organization, right? Like whether it's your CEO's vision or if you're the owner of the whatever, small business, whatever, you have to know where you're going. In order to be able to say no to things, right? Like it. Yeah. I can almost imagine the CEO of Hertz is, they're kind of kicking themselves, right? Yeah. They bought a fleet of Teslas, a fleet, and then they realized because they thought everyone was going to go for the EV craze and it was going to take off quicker. And they're like, yeah, this would be great. Then they realize that the infrastructure is not there. And people don't always feel the greatest about the Tesla company. And the owner of the CEO of Tesla is polarizing individual.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Right? And so, like, now they may have lost some business because people are like, I don't want to do business with Hertz because they have all those Teslas, and I don't want to have to get a fucking EV or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they just, I think they were too far ahead of their stuff. If they had said, no, we're not going to buy a fleet. We'll buy, a couple hundred for those who want them, or whatever the case is. I don't know what their model is and what that looks like, but yeah, we'll buy. We'll make it 2% of our fleet.
The problem with EVs and stuff like that, not even going down the Elon rabbit hole and all that stuff. It's EV is a different type of vehicle. You have to have a whole different mindset. Like every time someone talks to me about the EV, about my Tesla, or whatever, I have to explain to them that it's not for everybody.
Right.
2,
100%.
It's a whole different mindset. You can't just pull over and get gas how you want. You have to plan everything. It's more planned out. And yeah, I have come across quite a few people at chargers and stuff that just don't get it. Yeah. They're not ready yet. So I don't know about now time frame, but that was a couple of years, about a year and a half ago. Like some woman, she was about to break down, and I had to talk her through everything that was going on because she was like, "This is my husband's car. I was like, ma'am, it's okay. You just plug in. Let's go have a coffee. You'll come back. Your car be charged. You'll be good to go." But she just wasn't getting it. Yeah. So EV is like that. So Hertz, I don't think they looked at the bigger picture in the long run. I think they was just trying to, like you were saying, jump on the trend, the craze at that time.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, and I've had neighbors, and they're like, hey, we've gone on road trips to, like help them out. And I was like, all right, well, this is going to be a small road trip. It's like 4 hours out there and then 4 hours back or whatever. And I was like, so this is going to be a road trip for you. You ready for this? And they're like, I want to see what it's all about. And they realized, like, oh, this is different. Some of them are like, this is not anything longer than a normal stop that I would make because I have 2 kids and a wife who want to spend 10 minutes or 20 minutes in the fucking gas station. So this makes no difference to me. This is great.
What is it with fucking wives and kids and stuff? When you stop at a truck stop or a gas station, all of a sudden it's a shopping trip. It's not a shopping trip. Go
I agree.
Pee, poop, whatever you got to do, get a drink, let's go. No, it's a shopping. They have a cart. They're going down, up and down each aisle. Ooh, look at these Skittles. They're the same Skittles that you have seen for years. What the fuck?
God forbid you stop at a Buc-ee's.
Oh, I haven't had the privilege of a Buc-ee's yet, but I know all about it. My mom and fucking stepdad is. Oh my God, they shared what the fuck a Buc-ee's is. So,
in fairness, my parents live in Oklahoma. I live near St. Louis, so I go down I-44. There's a Buc-ee's on my stop, and it has chargers. Right. So what do? I'm going to stop there.
Of course.
They have cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen in a fucking gas station anywhere. I will give them 100% credit. They pay good people. Their food is fucking delicious. All that sort of stuff, right? That place is more. I felt more claustrophobic in that place than I've ever felt in like Disney World or any other fucking mall in my life. It takes me 15 minutes to walk from the chargers to the door to the bathroom, and that's. Like, it's not even fucking crazy. So I, like, my car's like, oh, you'll only stop at Buc-ee's for like 5 minutes. I'm like, get fucked. It's going to take me at least 30 just to get there and back to the bathroom. Just a piss. That's not even including getting food or drinks or anything.
Getting some beaver nuggets.
Hey, those just delicious. Don't fucking do it. But either way, I say that, and we're getting a little slightly off topic, but the whole EV thing for Hertz, I don't think they realized it's a different mentality for a rental car than let me just rent this fucking car. I know how to put gas in a goddamn car. I can go down the road to any Quick Trip, Circle K, 7-Eleven, whatever the fuck I have. I can boop boop. All right, I'm done. Go get pissed. Go piss, get a drink, and grab snacks. I'm out in 10 minutes. But with an EV, you kind of got to go, okay, I'm going to be here for 20, 30 minutes. I might as well make a fucking shopping trip, whatever the case is. So it's a different lifestyle. And like, like I said, my neighbors, some of them are like, all right, this is not that bad. Like, I can get used to this. I like the technology. I like how cheap it is. I like how this. I've had other people that are like, this is fucking stupid. I want to get gone. And I'm like, yeah, we're here for another 15 minutes. And they're like, are we fucking serious? I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Man, you know what? I realized that we have been on a tangent of different subject matters, and we also was talking about and we never went over the first third, so I'm just curious if you want to go over the second third now. You want to try to backtrack a little bit, just go over the second third after the break. What you want to do? What do you want to do?
Let's do first third. Why? We can do first third.
We can do first third?
Yeah, because I'm at the tail end of my first third, and then we'll jump into the second third after the break.
Okay.
I will say leather with a little bit of nuttiness at the end.
I definitely got leathery. I don't want to say the same thing as you. I don't like you.
Well, it's just in this fucking relationship right here. No.
Fine. I got a nutty profile at the end too.
Yeah, you did.
All right, let's take a break, man.
All right, sounds good. We'll come back with our second third.
Hola, mi gente. I'm Wanda Hernandez. I'm CEO of Sticks and Stones Productions, and we are here with Dyson Austin, and you are listening to Leadership of the Lead.
Don't forget, we need to follow the podcast so we know when new episodes drop.
Welcome back. We just had a break, and you don't know how long our break was, so we're gonna talk about our second third. Who am I to say? Maybe we had a discussion during the break. Who knows?
Hold the fuck on.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I'm holding.
What?
I'm holding. I just said holding.
Holding. My fucking cigar went out. That was not.
What the hell are you doing with your life? Oh, you got like a very small cherry up in that piece. I see you put some fluid in your lighter. Congratulations. You got something to say?
You get fucked.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you that my second third is definitely still holding on to leather. That leather's there. Maybe it's reminiscent of a baseball mitt. I don't know what he's going for, but I definitely got leather. There's a coffee-ish to the nuttiness.
I got cedar.
Cedar? Coffee-ness, cedar.
Do you get some cedar in there?
Oh, let me... Are you retro?
I get the leather. I have not retroed yet. I get the leather, but on the back, there's a hint of cedar. Like if I had a baseball glove wrapped around.
Slight, I guess cedar, maybe sweetness to it. Cedar. The retro kind of pulled a more of a sweeter note.
Let me retro.
I mean, if I can do it.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
But I see where you're going to. It's all good.
All right. Anyways, all right, let's continue because we've gotten off on a fucking tangent talking about electric vehicles and saying no to shit. We told first they should have said no to electric vehicles, but let's realize that, as we grow as leaders, we have to realize that when people ask things of us, much like when my wife was asked from a Boy Scout, they're coming to us for assistance. However, they have got to realize that it's okay to respond no, as long as it's done respectfully and with tact, right? You don't just somebody comes up and be like, "Hey, boss, I developed this new process and I've saved the company X amount of money and I think I'd really I deserve a raise. Get fucked, bitch." Like, that's not saying no with that. Like, you're like, "Hey, you did really good. However, the company is still under hard economic times, especially with whatever's going on in your industry. I don't want to assume anything tariff-wise now, whatever." Right? Like, I don't disagree with you, but let's wait until things kind of settle out, and then let's revisit this conversation in about 6 months. There, you just said no, but you gave them a window of opportunity to be like, okay, I understand kind of where they're coming from. That makes sense. You don't want to be like, hell yeah, man, let's give you a motherfucking raise, and then your company shuts down like 2 months later because it can't continue to operate due to geopolitical climate or whatever the fuck the case is.
Right. There's also circumstances and cases. I know we're going back and forth so much with this shit, but there's also circumstances where you need that hard no.
Yeah.
Hey.
But you don't want to sit there and just be like, "Fuck you, get out of my office."
Right. I mean, you want to cultivate decision-making skills and learn to say no when it matters the most to your team and your organization. Surprisingly, suggest the best ways to say no is by saying yes. Let me explain, because it's kind of counterintuitive. Like, you say no by saying yes. That's exactly what you was just describing. You just said no, but you said yes by saying no. Can I have a raise? Yeah, you not at this moment. Let's look at things. Let's hope finances get better, and by all means, we keep moving the same trajectory that we've been doing. And you have been doing a great job helping us move that needle. We can do that. But as of right now, the answer is no.
Boom. And we were talking a little bit before, because I make fun of Dice for every topic that he chooses. So one of my little pokes at him was good leaders don't say no. They say yes if, right? And that's one of those, yes, you can have a raise if the economy, if we keep trending in the right direction. Yes, if the company's financials get better. Yes, if we could break down this barrier. Yes, if your performance stays at this level for another 6 months.
So do I have this on recording that you bully me at work?
If you consider this work, sure. So yeah, experts suggest. So there's a couple ways to say no by saying yes, right? So suggest finding a more compelling vision or goal to say yes to, right? Hey, I would love to help you out with, a Boy Scout, whatever. However, I just invested in a new product. Maybe a Boy Scout comes to you for like sponsorship on whatever, right? And you say, unfortunately, I'm not able to give you a sponsorship right now. I've just invested in a new product, process, whatever, piece of equipment, whatever it is.
Girl Scout cookies.
Sure. Come see me in 6 months, 6 months. I'll bet you I'll be in a better place, and I'd be more than happy to give you a sponsorship at that time. Right? I don't say yes. I don't say yes to a sponsorship because all it does is gain me a slight bit of advertising and help out, and really it's a donation because they're a 501c3. But I've just invested in this new product, equipment, process, whatever it is. Girl Scout cookies, apparently from Dice. So I said yes to this. What more fits my organizational goal?
10 minutes.
And I'll say I left the door open for a potential yes down the future.
Sandy.
To say, hey, after this process gets up and working, after I recoup my losses from the equipment, after whatever,
shortbread.
I used to see me Girl Scout cookies. Like, get to the fucking good Samoas. God damn, man.
I couldn't think of the name of them.
But hey, after I recoup this, maybe I will want to put a sponsorship on your fucking trailer or whatever the case is, right? Like, I'm just using Boy Scouts as an example. Maybe I will want to sponsor and say, now with fucking a calzone oven, or now with whatever, bigger pizzas. I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to say, but you can kind of use that as an advertising to help also recoup your losses after you've recouped some in the long run. Anyways, more compelling goal or vision to say yes to. My equipment, my processes, my betterment, my company is trump better advertising, because if I get better at my processes or have new equipment or whatever, and I save money, then it's a little bit more compelling for me to say that than just to say I'm in advertising and I got the same much shit.
Another method. Yeah. I mean, that was very, very good. Very well done.
Articulated well.
Yeah, maybe the first proposed idea is not one that could or should be ran with. So you say no. The best example is one of your younger employees or whoever comes to you with an idea or a project or something that's half cooked. You see where they're going with it, but it's not quite there yet. So say no to that first proposed idea and come back to me a little bit later. Let's see if we can turn that no into a yes. Brainstorm on it a little bit more. Put a little more behind it. Give it a little more, to it.
Hey, I like where you're headed, but I don't think this is fully thought through. What happens if? Have you considered?
Yeah.
Give them some questions for them to go back and go, fuck, I didn't think about that. Like, it's not a bad idea, but I want to know, you need to be able to answer X, Y, Z for me. And if you can answer those and you can mitigate those risks or take advantage of those opportunities, whatever the case is, then maybe we can say yes.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing. It's promising.
Yeah,
but let's fully bake this idea.
it's one of those things where it's okay to say yes to maybe the second and third idea. It's okay because you pushed them that much further.
Well, and you empower your team, right? You get a better connection from your team by saying, I like where your head's at. That's a good idea. I don't think this idea is fully baked. I don't think you've thought this all the way through. What happens? And then you start asking those questions. And you go, and the team member goes, I didn't even think about that. Guess what? They're going to go back. They're going to think about those ideas. They're going to find other questions that you didn't think to ask. They're going to come back to you with an even more complete proposal. And you're going to be like, this is great. This is what I expect from all your other future proposals. So just let the team know, if they want to make a proposal to me, I'm more than happy to listen, but I expect this level of detail in any proposal moving forward. And then they can go, yeah, I get it, boss. That makes sense. Understand that you want us to come with fully formed ideas, not like, what do you think about, this? I have a pillow idea. And this is my idea. Boom, boom, boom. That's interesting. How would manufacturing work? How would shipping work? That's an odd-shaped pillow. Are you going to stuff it into a box? Like, are we going to spend more on packaging? How are we going to market this pillow? What are we going to use it for? Is it marketed towards side sleepers, back sleepers, stomach sleepers? What are we looking for? And then you're like, I don't know. I just had this idea. Like, go figure out those questions and let me know. Like, oh, shit. All right, cool.
Yeah. But basically, you want to say yes to something that's deliverable. Everything that you was just describing, you want to say yes to something that's deliverable.
Yeah, because if you come, if Steve Jobs came and said, "I have an idea. It's like an iPod, but you make phone calls on it. Let's run with it." What the fuck?
Steve, you've been smoking again?
Yeah. How the fuck are you making phone calls with a dial fucking... Listen, if you're not that old, go look up Gen 1 or video iPods, Gen 2 iPods. They had motherfuckers had a dial and 4 arrow buttons and a center button. That's all they had. They didn't have no speakers. They had no processors. They had no phone call. They had no wireless connection.
Wasn't it called a scroll wheel?
But sure. Old ass motherfucker.
Whoa!
But
hey, I'm older than Google.
I think I am too. Fuck. But if you just came up to me and said iPod, but you make phone calls on it, I'd be like, how the fuck are you going to implement that? What? How am I supposed to deliver this? Then comes iPhone, right? Like, but you got to fully bake that idea. Hey, if we did this, we made apps, and we did this, and we made the screen like this, we had a little button. But, oh, shit, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we can have this. We have a headphone jack. Yes, they used to have a headphone jack. Fuck. Lightning was not always a thing. Anyway. So, that's something to say, yes, it's deliverable, right? We also have to create a groundwork that allows your no to be respected, right? If you just said yes to everything and then suddenly you're like, I don't think so. People are going to be like, what? But you say yes to everything. That's why I came to you. I came to you because you say yes to everything. I just want to go see, if I can create a fucking chemical cooker inside of a hot dog to have instant make hot dogs. Bitch, what? You thought about cancer? Have you thought about, no.
What?
But you say yes to everything. You said yes to Tommy's fucking whatever.
Well, on the flip side, you could be also the guy that says no to everything. Like, no, then no one ever comes to you. He's just going to say no. That's when that surprise yes comes out. And you're like, oh shit. He said yes. Yes to the dress.
Woo! All right. You can also respond with a counteroffer, which delivers it on a different yes while shooting down the initial offer. Hey, I want this Toyota RAV4. Yeah, I see you want that RAV4. That's a great vehicle. Have you thought about a Traverse? Have you thought about Escalade? Have you thought about a CRV? What? I'm just naming out fucking vehicles at this point.
Yeah, I've noticed because never mind.
What?
Never mind. I mean, they're all SUVs, I guess.
Crossover, right?
Yeah, but Escalade is not even close to a fucking crossover.
It's an SUV.
We both agree then. We are saying the same thing. Yes.
Carries people.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I'm trying to upsell.
Oh, no.
Shit. But it's it's one of those things where like salesmen do this shit all the time. Oh man, you're thinking that idea? That's a great idea. Yeah, I love that idea. Have you thought of this idea? It costs a little bit more, but you get slightly more utility out of it. Have you thought? Yeah, you're looking at a RAV4. That's great. Have you thought of an Escalade? Or it carries more people and cargo. It's slightly more expensive, but you get more utility out of it.
You are absolutely correct. Did you want to look at my bank account real quick? Then you'll see why I'm asking for a fucking RAV4.
So how I get you into a Corolla? It's even cheaper. You can basically get the same utility out of it. It carries 5 people. The RAV4 carries 5 people. It's got a nice large trunk.
Get fucked.
Gets better gas mileage. Save money on that bank account. This baby's only got 100,000 miles on it.
Thank you, but no, 100,000 miles. Jesus Christ! I've surpassed that. By the way, did you know that? I'm almost at one. I'm almost at 150.
Congratulations. Anyways,
that's a Tesla. People always talk mad shit like, "Oh, when it reaches 100K, it's gonna die. It's gonna do this. Your battery is gonna be depleted." It's not. Just saying. I'm advertising. Boom. Pay me.
That's gonna get cut. If someone asked if you could do a special project or task, of course, we already have so much on our plate. Adding more is not going to be a smart move, right? Like, it's not a good thing. Instead of saying no, use some tact.
Yeah.
Say, hey, let me show you how to do the task, or let me show you the resources for the project. Or, my personal favorite, that is a worthwhile goal. However, I already have several things that I'm working. Which would you like me to prioritize? What would you like me to bump down on my to-do list and make this a priority? Most leaders, you tell them that and you start giving them a list of shit that you're already doing, they're going to go, ooh, okay, I don't know if I can do this. Like, you may not be the right person. And that's fine. I'm happy to lead it if you want to give some of my other projects away, but I just need to know which project you want me to turn over to who. Right? And then it provides them with a no, or actually a yes if.
Yeah.
But it's not a solid no.
You like that yes if thing. I like that.
Yes, I'm happy to lead this project for you if you take some of my other projects off my plate. Because this is going to require 60% of my stuff, my attention.
Yeah.
And I already have 2 40s and a 20. So are you going to take a 40 and a 20 off my plate so I can be at 100%?
And see, that's where you and I differ. I mean, I got your what if. That's where your direction would go. But my direction would be, here, let me show you this real quick. I'll show you how to get this done, or I can tell you where the resources and stuff are so you can knock this project out, and then we can reconvene like at a different time frame to make sure everything is hunky-dory or whatever, right? Whereas I'm going to teach you to fish, and you're like, give someone else to over there to fish. whatever you want me to do. I mean, we're both moving in the right direction. We're both saying no by saying yes.
Well, it depends, right? Like if they're asking me, how do I attach a file to an email? I'm going to be like, let me show you how to fucking do this once. And then I'm going to fucking walk away. Don't ever come after me this shit again. Right? But if they're like, hey, I need you to lead this. I need you to lead this multi-year construction project. You can go, I like that construction project, and I'd be happy to lead it for you. However, I already have a software project, a different construction project, and this HR project already on my plate. Which would you like me to deprioritize or turn over to somebody so I can take on this construction project for you? Right? It's not saying no, it's just saying, hey, I need to either push something to the side or I need to give it to somebody else. I'd be happy to take this project on for you if you move it to some of these other projects off my plate.
One thing about that is that I pick on younger like leaders when they start coming up because they want to say yes to everything, right? So the problem with all that on your plate, you're saying yes to it, then now something is going to falter. If you don't pass that project over to someone else, you're going to try to take all this on. Your plate only can hold 100, and now you have 110, 115 on your plate. Something's going to falter. So then when it comes back to you, hopefully, and we don't live by the word fucking hope, hopefully your boss or whoever doesn't come back for that 10% that you fucking left on the table scraps, because you took on this new project. So you're going to get caught in the weeds. Yeah. Delegation.
That's where, 100%. And that's where you sit there and go, I'd be happy to take on this project for you if you understand I'm going to have to let something slide, or if you let me transfer whatever project to somebody else. And then that boss can sit there and understand what you're using, because bosses, they lose sight of what everyone's doing, right? They have 100 employees. They don't know what every 100 employees is doing. So, it's one of those things where, I'd be happy to take this project on for you if you transfer some of my other projects off to somebody else, or if you were okay with me putting something else on the back burner because I want to give this my undivided attention, or as much attention as it deserves, right? Like it's important to be strong when saying that, though, because most people are like, oh, come on, it's not that much more work. Yeah, but it is, right? Like, you're not trying to feel belligerent. You're not trying to be condescending. You're being confident and saying, look, I understand. I only have so much bandwidth. Don't need to be apologetic about it. Everybody has a limit, right? As a leader, you need to worry about yourself and what's best for your team. And sometimes saying no is what is best. If you apologize, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, boss. I can't. Oh, I'm so sorry. Right? Like, it looks like you're seeking for that person's approval, and it comes off as a leader as insincere.
Yeah, saying no with a strong conviction of saying the word no, it means it has to carry that weight of you saying no. I believe what I don't know if that's the actual word, wishy-washy.
Oh yeah, wishy-washy. You don't want to be wishy-washy.
You want to be all wishy-washy about it. Well, essentially, you don't want to keep going back and forth with it or being like, oh, I'm so sorry, but blah, blah, blah. Because whenever you apologize, and you know that you work for me for quite some time, whenever someone apologizes, it makes that person, in my opinion, seems weak. Why are you apologizing? Why the fuck are you apologizing? Did you bump me by accident? No, you're just telling me, no, you can't handle a project. Okay, I'll find someone else, or I'll figure out why you can't handle the project. Either you don't have the skill or the talent for it, did I pick the wrong guy, or you already have 100% on your plate. However this is going, you don't need to apologize. I'm moving on to the next schmuck. Go fuck yourself. Okay, maybe that wasn't very tactful, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
right?
You don't need to apologize for something that you just can't do.
Yeah, I think the apology comes in where people, and this is not making excuses. I'm not trying to. I think people say no, right, because they don't want to disappoint. They apologize. They don't want to disappoint. But like I know, I apologize, and I was like, I'm sorry, I just cannot do that, because they're trying to be tactful, because they don't know a better way to be tactful, or because they're like they don't want to disappoint the person who's asking them for whatever, right? They're like, I'm disappointing the person, and that's not what happens, right? Like I have to consistently put myself in other people's shoes, right? Like if I was the leader and I was asking me, to do this, how would I feel if somebody said no? I would be like, oh, well, as long as they gave me a good reason, I'd be okay with it. So then, I don't need to apologize for saying no, because I have all these other reasons. I'd be like, I can't do that because X, Y, Z, right? Like, if you want to take some of the stuff off my plate, I'd be happy to do it, but I can't, right? No need to apologize on that 100%. And I have to put myself in the boss's shoes to be like, yeah, if I was a boss and I heard that, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Cool, I'm gonna move on to the next schmuck, right? But a lot of people don't do that, so they just but they don't want to disappoint their boss. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. It makes you get out of my fucking face, you groveling piece of shit. Like, I don't need your apologies. I need you to either do what I'm asking or be better, or to just say no, like, just with some confidence.
Yeah.
So I know that you're not.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. So I know that I'm like, I either picked the wrong person, or I didn't realize that you were already doing three other tasks.
Task saturated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why saying no is crucial leadership skills. Here's prioritization. That's a fun word. Prioritization and focus. By saying no, leaders can conserve their time and energy for the most critical tasks and initiatives, ensuring they can effectively lead and achieve their goals. Just imagine if you said yes to everything, then you won't focus. You won't have the energy or prioritize the actual concept or the goal at hand. You got too many irons in the fire, is what I like to say.
Yeah, well, like, think of a kid, right? Like, if you said yes to every motherfucking toy they asked you for, right?
Toys R Us wouldn't be out of business,
right? But they only have so much bandwidth. They can only play with so many toys at once.
Too soon.
So you should. What?
Too soon.
How is it too soon?
Man, I can just think back when my kid was like, I want, and then you get, and 2 hours later, where the hell is it? I don't know.
Right. But that's the thing, right? Like, they have so much bandwidth. My kid constantly, I want to play the Switch. I want to do this. I want. Especially around Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I'm like, no. Stop. You have so many goddamn Hot Wheels, I'm about to choke on them. 2, you have like umpteen thousand Lego blocks. Go build something. And 3, like, you can't build Legos, play with Hot Wheels, and play the Switch at the same fucking time. None of that shit works the same. So how are you gonna spend your time? Oh, and by the way, you also want to go play outside and play with your friends. So how is this all gonna fucking roll out? Like, I'm not spending the time, I don't have the space, and I'm not wasting my money. Like, I start breaking it down in more easier to understand terms and more tactful terms. He's like, oh, that makes sense. But a no is also can be a sign of confidence and clear judgment, demonstrating that the leader has carefully evaluated the situation and made a decision that aligns with the organization's vision. So I know you haven't watched it, but maybe our listeners have. I was recently watching the American version of The Office, right?
Yeah.
They came with there was an episode, it was called Surplus or something like that. Anyway, what they had to do is they were like, hey, we have a $4,300 surplus. Oh. We have to spend this by the end of the day, or we risk losing it for next fiscal year, right? Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so half the office wanted a new copier machine, and the other half the office wanted new chairs. And those were the two options presented with them. Or the third option was to return that $4,300 and get 15% of it as a bonus.
Huh.
Well, so he had to. So the boss was trying to figure out which one to buy. The dude took the entire episode just walking around in circles, trying to figure out between a new copier and new chair, and it fucking made him look weak. And I sat there and I was just like, dude, pick one. You can't fucking go wrong. Your staff needs new chairs because of whatever reason, and you need a new copier because of X, Y, Z, right? Like, and they were showing this whole thing, and it was hilarious. But like, I was like, dude, just pick one. Pick one. Make a fucking decision. Stand by your fucking decision. It doesn't matter. Half your office is gonna be pissed at you either way. Make a goddamn decision. And in the end, it was funny because he left it up to his employees. And they went into the conference room, battled it out, and they came out and they're like, we made this decision in like 10 minutes. And it's taking him all day. It's like, oh, I fucked up. Like, but it was hilarious. He was like, yeah, I fucked up. Like, my staff is great at making decisions, better than me, in fact.
saying no helps establish. Saying no. It helps establish clear boundaries and expectations within the team, fostering a culture of respect and understanding. Especially when you say no, and there's a reason why you're saying no. You're not just saying no. One of the things I hate, I'm pretty sure you hated too as a kid, is because I said so.
Oh, I fucking hated it.
There's no respect behind that, right? Yeah, there's nothing behind that. So, being that I don't want to say no because I said so. I don't want that type scenario. So saying no with all the forthcoming that we talked about earlier is going to set those boundaries and expectations. Like, why did he say no? Because I came with a half cooked ass fucking project.
Right. Or even saying no to unnecessary requests. You know, you can free up your resources and tasks for tasks that truly matter, maximizing the impact of your team's efforts. Like, hey boss, I fucked up and I used the wrong calendar for the accounting sheet because it's January, February, and I forgot that the fucking calendar changed. And I'm stuck in, 2025 mindset. Fuck me, right? Like, I know 26. Like, I'm dumb. I might need to come in for some overtime to fix it. No, you cannot come in for time and a half. Fix your shit on company time and get this knocked out. Oh, okay. Like, my first question, what are you doing right now? Why have you not been able to fix this during company time?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to do those sheets? Oh, it took me 30 minutes. And you're requesting 4 hours of overtime to fix this? Nah, fuck you. Get the ass back to your desk, fix this shit in 15 minutes, and go about your business. Like, I'm not gonna spread my resources even more thin, because then you're gonna be, quote unquote, well, I'm exhausted from my overtime. Like, no, fuck you. Like, you fucked up. Fix it on your own shit.
Well, I mean, and then how will that look for the rest of the team?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it doesn't. No.
I mean, it's one of those things. As a leader, constantly make sound decisions, prioritize accordingly, build that trust and accountability within your team. So if you did it for that guy, why can't you do it for the other guy? Why can't you do it for Susie? What's going on?
Why doesn't everybody get time and a half?
Yeah, I'm trying to prioritize.
Right. And you focus on the right things, and you're going to create a more efficient and productive work environment, ultimately driving your team towards success. Right? Like, hey, no, you can't can't have overtime to fix this problem because you fucked it up on work hours. So you're going to fix it on work hours. Become more efficient and learn to double check your shit.
Yeah.
Okay. They go back, they fix that shit because it took them half the time, because it's basically already done. They just had to change the date. and oh, now I know how to do this even quicker, and now I'm more successful and more consistent, and I'll never make that mistake again. That sucks redoing it.
And the overall scheme of everything, right? The art of saying no as a leadership in a leadership role is about making that strategic choices that benefit the team, organization as a whole, even when it means saying no to some opportunities or requests. I mean, that's what we've been preaching this whole time. You got to find that balance of where to say no, how to say no, the tactful way to say no, and when to drop in that yes. I mean, it's all about trying to build that relationship of the team and move more focus on that priority than just all these little side projects, or someone's just trying to scam overtime, or however. Your resources and everything is valuable. Your team is valuable. So you want to pretty much kind of protect that. Being a leader, you want to protect that. You're saving them from themselves.
Right.
Sometimes that's what no is. You're saving them from themselves.
Well, and you know, nobody is perfect, right? Like,
hello.
Nobody, especially Dice, is perfect. Like, there's times where you're gonna say yes, and then you're gonna find out more information. You're like, ah, fuck, I should have said no to that. Like,
yes.
Damn it, I'm an idiot, right? Like, I recently said yes to something, and I was like, and I found out more information. I was like, whoa, hold on. That was not told to me when I said yes, and it's my fault.
I hate that.
My fault for not not asking the question. And I was like, hold on. Before we go through with this, I know I've already said yes to this, but we need to find out a couple more big key facts and information for we're good with this, right? And that can be demoralizing. Saying no can be demoralizing, or it could be a way to connect with that person and bring that individual closer to helping them drive priorities. As a leader, it's important to take time to listen and be empathetic, right? But again, you also have to ask those questions, because if you just go, oh, you're my friend, yes, I'll help you out, maybe you need to learn to ask another question or two.
Right.
It can be hard to say no, but finding a way to reach goals together is a true measure of leadership. It sucks too, right? Like, recently, I'll give my example real quick because I know we're running over time, but I said yes to a request from a friend of mine in another department, and then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, this has been a problem for over a year. And I'm like, whoa. I was not under the impression it was for a year. Like, if that's the problem, we have other issues that we need to deal with first before we go and do what I already said yes to. And he's like, well, you already said yes. And I'm like, I said yes, but there's some backstory here that I was missing when I said yeah. Like, oh, well, I didn't realize you have the whole story. And then they start, turning around on me, and I was like, listen,
yeah,
I'm
I call that
to help out,
tap dancing.
Yeah, I'm happy to help, but fuck me, dude. Like, you kind of screwed me over. And they're like, well, I didn't mean to. I was just trying to. Yeah, I get what you're trying to do. Trying to make your department look good. Well, mine looks like asshole now. Like, thanks. Got it. All right, let's get to our final third.
Okay. One, I'm not very happy with the construction or the burning of the cigar. It's been jagged. The fucking ash has been stupid flaky. It's still jagged right now. There is no burn line. What's a burn line? I got like a burn fucking mountain fucking range over here. Yours isn't that great. It's better than mine, but your burn line is not solid. It's not a ring. No. I mean, mine look like the fucking Cascades. Anyway, flavor notes. That's what we're talking about now. Leather has been throughout this whole thing. Leather has not went away at all. It definitely has a nutty tone to it. The cedar is still there, but it's on the very back end of everything that's going on. There's a slightly sweet finish to it. When I say nutty, it's a very like light nutty. It's not like a heavy like peanut or cashew or something. It's more of a on the lighter side.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you just said because that leather's coming through. I get cedar, and then I get slight nuttiness. There's a sweetness on the back end. I can't quite place my finger on it. Maybe figs or something, but there's like a sweetness to it that I'm like, oh, all right, yeah. Overall, I think the flavor profile of this has been really good. The construction has been where the problems have been. In my personal opinion, I've had to relight this a couple times, and I'm like,
Same.
I was not talking that long. Like, why the fuck did this go out? So I've been trying to ash less to see if that maybe helps it out. But I guess really what the question is single, 5-pack, or box worthy?
It's time to answer the question. Is a cigar box worthy, 5-pack, or just 1 or 2?
It's going to be kind of tough for me because the flavor is, I love the complexity of the flavor. It's not,
Agreed.
It's not, I know we said leather for all three of them or whatever, but it's almost like different levels of leather. This has definitely been a very, very is not the right word. It's definitely been a complex flavor profile. I do believe off air, we looked at a few notes and they were kind of all over the place. So I was a little discerning when we was going to smoke it on air. But I could see kind of what they were talking about, but I'm very strong-willed with the notes that we came up with.
Yeah.
Man, this is tough. It's not box to me. I'm not going to call it a box because of the way it burned. It would frustrate me. If I was drinking Hennessy, like I was like three cups in of Hennessy, I would be frustrated with this fucking cigar. Let's be honest. I'll probably cuss it out. I'm just saying. But the complexity of it has been, I'm going to go 5-pack.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm going to go 5-pack as well. Like, the construction issues, I'm semi wondering if it's not due to the length it rested in the humidor, and maybe the travel conditions.
A Robusto probably burn better.
It might.
Give that a try.
You know. But the flavor profile has been very, very good. But the burn and construction has been driving me nuts. So I wonder.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, like, geez.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe a different cigar would yield better construction, but the same flavor profile, and we'd be like, "Ooh, this is really, really good." So I want to give it a 5-pack at a minimum because I wouldn't be upset if I had this cigar again, and I wouldn't be upset if I had this in my humidor for a while, and then be like, "Ooh, you know what? Boop. Big Poppy sounds good today." Like I don't want just 1 or 2 where I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm out. I gotta go get it more." Like
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, I'm down to 1. All right, I guess go buy it on a 5-pack. Like that's where I'm at with this whole thing. It's been very good though.
I'm looking forward to the Hall of Fame. Don't we have that? We have that one, the Smoke on Air, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, if we don't, we'll get it.
Yeah, I agree.
So no.
Art of saying no or yes if.
I'm saying no with my chest.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, I'm Austin.
And I'm Dice.
And great leaders smoke great cigars.
Bet.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.